Hey, what's up guys, I'm Bright Torn and welcome back to Victoria 3 as we are playing as the United States. So in today's episode we're going to be doing our first major conflict, essentially the Spanish-American War is what we're going to call this here, even though there are many other countries that are involved. If we hover over any of these flags, we can see how much of their standing army has been mobilized and how many percentage of their possible conscripts have they drafted. So like with us, we've mobilized by 50% and drafted only 3% of our potential conscripts. Looking at France, 90% mobilized, 3% drafted. Denmark, 68 and 48%, and so on. Let's kind of show you our enemies, how they're looking. And it does look like that the majority of these standing armies are being mobilized. Now, of course, the reason why we're only at 50% is because of those issues that we're currently having. I don't know what's going on with this, guys. I don't know why he's busy. I don't really understand it. I said maybe it's the election, but I don't know why he would, be involved with the election. He's not even the leader of his interest group. That's Frederick Harrison. So again, I'm just not entirely sure why he's busy right now. It doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe there's something I'm not thinking about, but I really think he might be broken. And so we kind of need to go into this with the expectation that we might not have access to him. What I might do is just wait till the election happens. I don't know what else to do, guys. We could go ahead and assign another general here to the New England HQ, and then that would split the army and have 10 of the units. Obviously, that's not enough to do the invasion of Cuba, though. We'd probably need more than that. So we'd have to then build a bunch more units. I'd prefer to just get access to them. So the best bet is, I guess, wait until the election's over, because I don't know what else could be causing the problem here, and then make use of them. That means 130 days that we can't do the invasion that we're starting this war over. So yeah, really irritating. I don't know why they don't tell you what the character's supposedly busy with. It doesn't make any sense to me why they wouldn't tell you that. But yeah, we're just gonna have to wait on that, guys. So I did leave a pinned comment on the last episode. Then I did forget to fix our issue with the convoys. I just went ahead and canceled a couple trade routes, and there's actually a few more trade routes that we can cancel as well, because we're trading with the British, and they're going to get canceled anyway. So I canceled the luxury clothes one. Well, they don't get canceled, they get postponed. So changing this has made furniture very expensive, so we've already got that resolved up here, or we're trying to resolve it, getting some stuff built. We could also take a look and see if there's anything in the production methods to try and improve it quicker. But yeah, anybody that is going to be at war with us, like Spain, that we're currently trading with, then we're going to want to go ahead and cancel those trade routes and find somebody else, because it's already going to it's going to be suspended. So some of these are going to be pretty bad, like the dye cost there. We're just going to have to either make do with what we got or find another trade partner. We're also trading away the artillery and ammunition. So if those get too expensive, what we can do is just stop those. However, the ammunition is going to France, so we might want to keep that going to kind of help their economy. But the artillery going to the Russians, there's no reason why we couldn't stop that. And I think that's it. So yeah, we don't really have a whole lot of routes going now. So we need to find new trade partners, essentially, before we can really start this war. We gotta fix some of the prices in our country. So, we can do the furniture ourselves. I know it's really expensive right now, but we can, there's no shortage, and so we can get that resolved. Luxury clothes, I don't really know if there's anybody we can import this from. I guess there's the Sicilian market. It's not going to help a lot, but it'll make up for the British goods that we're not getting anymore. So yeah, we'll go ahead and trade there, and let's see what else we can do. Glass is fine, we'll get that fixed. Dyes have gotten expensive again, so we can attempt to import those from somebody else, somebody that's not Spain. Ecuador's got a lot for us, almost as much as Spain did, so that will make up for the losses we took there. Yeah, that'll work out nicely. Alright, so found a new trade partner there. And we were already dealing with the clothes as well up there, so that's not a problem. And I think lead could easily be dealt with in the production methods. So let's just take a look at the production methods to see if there's anything we can do here. So we've already changed up all these. We've been consistently looking at this, making sure that we get that changed. But we have not gone to mechanized workshop, so that would be one way for us to get the furniture to be much cheaper. Yeah, that would drastically decrease the price of furniture. So much so that we might not want to build 2 of those anymore. So yeah, let's go ahead and put that, change that. Glassworks. I guess we could always change this up too to fix the price of glass. That'd make lead really expensive though. So, and we're already almost done with that one glassworks. So we'll take a look and see what the cost is once we're done with that. See if we want to just adjust maybe a couple buildings at a time. So we're good here with the tools for now. We could get a lot more paper. Paper's not all that expensive. Well, dye is. So let's not do that right at this particular moment. All right, so let's go and take a look at the rural buildings. We know there's a few adjustments we like to be able to make with the mines. Yeah, lead mines. So we've already changed them up to the condensing engine pump. We could go ahead and change them over to dynamite, but that's going to make explosives incredibly expensive if we do all those. So let's just do maybe one, maybe Illinois. Yeah, we'll do that, guys. That'll get us some lead, reduce the cost a little bit. And let's just take a look, see what these adjustments have done here to the market. All right, so we're looking pretty good overall. Yeah, not too bad. Again, I don't think we're going to need... Well, this has not been resolved yet. Yeah, I'm a little surprised I didn't make any change there. I think everything's fine for now. We'll get those furniture manufacturers built over, then I'll improve the price there at least a little bit. All right, so we're just waiting to for the war to kick up. Oh yes, one more thing. And Sweden declared neutrality, so they won't be joining. So there's one thing that I just forgot here, that we need to do something about our current budget, because obviously this is not sustainable. We're losing a lot of money. If we want to keep building, now we could stop production during the war, or only build, I should say, only build with the investment pool. And so don't build anything that the investment pool doesn't pay for. But I prefer not to do that, and we are definitely going to go in debt. There's no way around that. Now, debt spending is actually very beneficial. I would encourage it if you're trying to be the most efficient to go in debt to build up your economy. It's the best way to do it. I don't play that way. I don't like going in debt. That's just a personal preference. It's not the most efficient, but at the same time, you don't have to do it in order to be effective and successful in Victoria 3. It's not that difficult to create a booming economy. I feel a little bit too easy, honestly. So yeah, I don't do the debt spending. That's just a personal preference, even though it actually is probably the better route to go. But with how expensive this war is going to be, I do expect we'll probably go into debt. So let's go ahead and try and improve that. And the way we're going to do it is, rather than just straight increasing taxes, which would be beneficial, that's a lot, and maybe we'll do that if spending gets too bad. What we're going to do instead is we're going to add a new consumption tax. And I think the best one to add would be services. But the problem here is that we don't have the authority to do it. But what we could do is go ahead and cancel the consumption tax one. Just go ahead and remove that. And then instead use that extra authority now to get the services, because that's actually a better price than what we could have got if we added that with one more for 100, which I guess would be like porcelain or something like that. Those would not equal 25,000. So this is our best route to earning a bit of money here. And yeah, that improved the situation some. It's not quite as bad. All right, so continuing building up here. I'm going to go ahead and set the units over here for now and just kind of push forward. If Spain starts getting pushed back here, then we'll help them out. But as you can see, they have an advantage right now, so I think we'll be all right there. Yeah, I just wish I knew what was going on with Simon here. Like why he's considered busy. It's kind of a bummer, because that's where our invasion army comes from. So yeah, real shame there. I thought it would be an issue, though. That's the reason why we didn't raise up conscripts here for the Dixie HQ, so that we can use them for the invasions if absolutely necessary. That's what we'll do. So the war has broken out. So this is our first major conflict here. We're going to turn this down to speed 3 for now. We might turn that up, of course, because again, this isn't a war-focused game, so there's not a ton you have to do. You know, everything kind of happens on its own. We're still traveling here. You know, it's a long distance, so it's going to take time to get there. But other than that, we're just waiting for them to invade us and to defend against those invasions. Yeah, he's still not able to be mobilized, despite the war breaking out. So again, we're just going to wait for the election, 103 days. But what we do want to do is get our navy set up. So again, the military system is, you know, not great. And finally, finally, Paradox has consented that they might have made some mistakes. The things that we told them they should change in the first place, like the fact you can't demobilize and all the problems that that causes. Paradox recognizes that there are some issues with that, and they said they're going to try and figure out some way to make it possible to demobilize in certain instances, at least so you don't get stuck with a bunch of troops in a war that you can't end, and you're just paying for them even though you can't fight the war. They also recognize that the lack of player involvement, player control, is overall negative. While they're happy with the system as it is, in the sense that they don't want to go back to the tactical system of controlling your units directly. They're happy with this system here, but they do recognize that the player just can't do much. So they're talking about adding certain things, like, for instance, being able to give your generals an objective, like attack towards this state or towards this province or something, go this way. Just tell your generals, where they should be heading towards, like what your goal is. Just kind of give them a little bit of direction. So these are all things that we all said in the developer diaries that it was going to be necessary, and Paradox didn't either. They said it's something they couldn't do before release, and so now they're working on it after we're in post-release, or they were saying that they didn't think that they were things that were necessary. They thought that they were bad ideas, and now they're recognizing that maybe they might have been wrong on some of those points. So there's at least that. At least they recognize that certain adjustments need to be made. So I'm glad that we'll see some changes. We do need to get an admiral here for the Dixie HQ for the ships there. They only have 8 of their 10 right now. So we have 2 choices here. One's Southern Planter, one's Armed Forces. But yeah, pretty different here. This guy is clearly the better option, I feel. As far as their age goes, he is much older, so that probably explains why he has these different traits here. So many more traits, I should say. Yeah, he's clearly the better option, so we're going to go with him. So let's get him recruited. And then what we're going to want to do is go ahead and make sure these guys are set up to patrol our coast here. So our options are naval invasion, raid convoys, patrol coast, or escort convoys. And if they start raiding us, then we're going to want to switch over to escort convoys. But for right now, we want to stop them from doing naval invasions. So we got him doing the patrol coastline for New England. But we might want him to do the Dixie HQ, just because that's the location that's more likely to be attacked. First of all, our capital's right there. But it's a longer coastline, and also it's across from this British territory here. So yeah, we're going to have him patrol here. And then with David here, we're going to have him patrol New England, so that both of the coastline areas here are patrolled, but he's got the smaller fleet. So I think that makes sense. So keep him on that for now. But I do assume that the British are going to start convoy raiding, and if they do that, then we might want to switch over to escort convoys. We also don't want to leave our coastline unprotected, though, so there is that. That's kind of a trade-off here because we don't have a ton of fleets right now. We could split them up between different admirals, and then you could give them different objectives. So you could have like half your ships protecting the coast and the other half protecting convoys. But if we did that, if we escort convoys, the way this works is that it's based off of the HQ that they're in, and then they protect convoys that are going from that HQ to another location. So basically all along that route. So if we wanted to protect, all trade routes going to France, so between the shipping lanes between New England and France, that's how we do it. If we want all the ones that are going to here, which I don't think there'd be any because they're connected by land, so I don't think that's really something you need to do. But you can see the exact routes that protect. You can see the little the dots there when you hover over it. So basically, when you get those notifications that your convoys are being raided, it'll tell you what areas those are in, and then you can kind of guess which routes are being raided, and then you can assign your fleet to protect those routes. But for now, we're going to leave this as is, just protecting the coastline. Alright, so I think we're good to go now. I don't think there's anything left to do. So Spain has begun conscription. And France is now outnumbered here, but they do still have the advantage. I'm guessing they moved somewhere else. We're still moving our guys over here. So we'll see little battles that will break out if they attempt these invasions. There's no real like notifications or anything like that. Like Hearts Farm 4, again, the system's kind of not really in your hands, which is why we can go and probably turn this up to speed 4. I just don't want to miss anything. Particularly watching our allies do their things, because yeah, it looks like he's gonna take a while to get here. I was thinking you could hover over this and see how long it's gonna take, but apparently not. So we'll look in here, 14 days for him to get over there. All right, so that's the front we're gonna be working on. But yeah, such a bummer that we're stuck out here and waiting for something. I don't even know what we're waiting for. Because remember, once we do get him available, if we ever do, then we still have to, mobilize him and wait for that. So more of these same events, guys. And we'll probably just take the reduction of their approval because it's not really a problem. They are very, very loyal to us. So we clearly are currently losing the conflict, which is not surprising. We just got here. Okay, so now we're finally on an actual front. I just want to take a look, see how things are going here. Looks like we're still doing all right, though the French did just lose this battle, but that's because they're the ones advancing. So the French are going to attempt to advance here, and they're probably not going to win on advancing. But defending, they should be all right for at least a little while here. So let's go and take a look at our own front line here, guys. So again, we currently have 10 of our battalions, and the British only have 1, so we shouldn't have any issues pushing forward here, guys. You see our offense compared to their offense and defense, and we got 1 battle going on right now, which is in this location here. So you can see that our artillery is firing here. He does not have a general because this is just that 1 garrison unit here that's located. So this is our current dead and wounded. Battle meter is progressing. We should easily be able to advance here again just because we're not facing any opposition there. And yeah, they might not do invasions of us because they have other fronts to fight on. So they'll probably want to wrap these other fronts up first. So we'll see what happens, but it does look like the British are going to be able to advance everywhere that they're currently fighting. Is there any other fronts? Just take a look here. Yeah, they're fighting here, though it looks like the French are the ones that are going to advance there. Same thing here. So the French have taken advantage of certain little locations where the British aren't defending. Let me see if there's anything over here. I'm not seeing any front lines there. All right, so just these African ones. The Spanish-French border and then the one in the Caribbean. Those are the current ones that we have. All right, so yeah, we'll get this conquered here. You can see we've already taken a bit of territory. And yeah, we're pushing forward relatively easily. No problems here. Losing some people. I've already got 3 dead in just that battle there. Now you can see all that here, what your total cost is, the total cost of the war, and that starts based on as soon as you start mobilizing. So already this war has costed us 1.82 million our side. Us specifically, it's been 216,000, and the war just started. So very expensive conflict is. It costs millions and millions of pounds. So like one person asked me, wouldn't it be really beneficial to start wars, in order to get puppets, in order to get 20% of that puppet's income? Well, it depends on how much that puppet makes. What is that 20%, and how much money did you spend to conquer them? If it was a cheap, quick war, maybe, sure, maybe it pays itself off. But if you got to fight great powers and stuff, then it's going to cost millions and millions of pounds for you to complete that war. How much money are you going to get from that puppet? How long is it going to take to pay itself off? If the war takes 50 years to pay itself off, is it really worth it? I would say probably not. I mean, it might still be worth it just to, conquer stuff, but as far as economically, financially, I don't know that it would be worth it. All right, so the front has split here, and so that's why they're advancing there, but then he'll move over here and start advancing this front. Again, very hands-off, not really requiring anything from us outside of the stuff you guys have already seen. So let me just see if there's anything we need to be aware of here with the fleets. This is not very well visualized, so this is another thing that Paradox has said that they're going to change, make the fleets a little bit more, just a little bit more part of the game. You can see them, maybe see the battles a little bit easier, see something going on. Really, there are battles, and you'll see them, but I don't know, the whole system's not very good for the Navy. Just, it needs improvement. The war system does. So the election's in just a couple days here, and we'll be able to see if this fixes our problem with our general, which until we get access to him, we're very limited because we can't do the invasion of Cuba, which is what the whole war's over. So we had the election. Democratic Party won as we expected. Free Trade Party did quite horribly. So the industrialists probably lost a little bit of their clout, but intelligentsia is still doing pretty good. And overall, we could probably keep this as is, though the legitimacy is not quite as high as I'd like to see. If you threw like the trade unions in there, that'd take it down. We could just take one of them out, but that's not going to improve the situation here with the legitimacy, because really it's about the fact that we have not put the Democratic Party in place, and they won the election. We're not going to do it. We're going to leave them out of government and just have the lower legitimacy. It's not that big of an issue. But what is important is the election's over, and Simon is still busy. Yeah, guys, I don't know. That's kind of frustrating, because our whole thing is designed off of using him, and we don't have access to him. And I'm not entirely sure what it is. I feel like he's just broken. And what's really frustrating, you can't even retire him when he's busy. There's like nothing you can do with him. Was he the character that we had exploring the West last? Yeah, maybe he was. I remember that got bugged out because we had finished a journal entry and we were still getting events about it. You know, we had actually finished the whole thing. We had finished exploring the West, and thus we were able to get these 3 states, Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. Maybe he's bugged out, guys. He might be, which means that I got him sitting over here and we're never going to be able to use him. All right, so what we're going to have to do, let's just assume he's broken and we won't get access to our units that he controls until he dies, since we can't retire him. So we're talking about, you know, maybe a big chunk of the campaign, guys. So let's just assume that's what's going to go on. And yeah, it's just really unfortunate because I built my whole plan off of him, and he's in the worst HQ to have this happen. So yeah, very unfortunate. Again, there's bugs, guys, and you just got to deal with them. So what we can do is we can go ahead and get another New England HQ, and he'll have access to like half the troops essentially. Now I think there's 20 there. There might be a few extras that we might have built. It seems like it. But yeah, that's what we're gonna have to do. And I don't know if 11 units is gonna be enough, guys. So we might have to build some more. Yeah, probably. It's just very unfortunate that we're doing all this once the war has already broken out. I really should have just assumed it wasn't. I knew it wasn't the election. Like, because how could it be the election? He's not even an interest group leader, and I've also never seen that before. I've never seen the interest group leaders, you know, not be able to do anything just because the election's going on. I've never seen them be marked as busy before, so I should have known that, guys. So that was my bad. I just assumed that it would fix itself. I just kind of hoped it would fix itself, and it didn't. So, is what it is. Let's go ahead and get somebody selected here. I think we're going to have to go with Judiciary. He's a pillager, but so is the other guy. So that's kind of our choice here. I suppose if you wanted to go for him, I mean, he's also the pillager, and maybe he's got better options here. You got that cautious. I guess it really depends on... Yeah, I almost want to go for him because of the supply requisitions expert. That could be pretty useful with us doing that naval invasion there. And yeah, again, they're both pillagers, so... And I think he probably has better traits. Yeah. Now, he does have the higher command limit. As you can see, we can have 24 units here, so there is that bonus. And yeah, he'll get the 50% morale damage protection. So that's helpful as well. He actually has a lower command limit, so he can only have 16 units. Wow. Alright, so that's a problem, unfortunately. Alright, so yeah, I guess we're going to go with him. Despite the command limit issues, we can always just promote him. And I think that's what we're going to have to do, actually, so that he'll have a higher percentage of the units here. Because, yeah, we have not promoted him. So I think that would be our best bet to make sure he has more units. And you can see he can mobilize, so yeah, this is unfortunate, guys. So let's go and promote him. It's not the most desirable way of doing this, but this will give him more of those units. So we'll have 15 now. So it's, you know, not quite as many as we wanted to invade with, but we could attempt to invade with 15. Or we can just go ahead and build up the other 5 and then see if we can't get those over there in time. I'll build up, well, I say 5, but that's not actually what we need to do because he wouldn't get all of those. So you would have to probably build up more than that, I'd assume. So let's go and get this started, guys. So we need to build some more barracks, and where can we do that? All right, we've got plenty of peasants here. Not in all the states, of course, but some of them it's fine. Yeah, so we'll do one more in Jersey. And one more in each of these states. So that's 4. I guess we'll go up here in Jersey to 4 as well. I'm not sure how many we'll have to do in order to get the number we want. Since, of course we're not getting all of those units. Some of them will go to Simon instead. So we'll try to build it up and then see if we can't do this invasion, guys. It's, again, it's just unfortunate that we're facing a bug here on our first conflict. But we're getting some victories and we're pushing forward here. So at least we're winning somewhere. Look at the French, see how they're doing. Looks like they have been able to successfully push forward into Spain. Despite the fact that they are vastly outnumbered, but numbers are not the only thing to be considered. In fact, generals are quite important. Who you assign there, that's important. And we just got our hand crank machine gun as well, so that's really going to help us out in these conflicts too. We'll have a higher kill rate. The Great Train Smash. An enterprising entertainer has arranged for 2 aging locomotives to run into each other at a local fair. The resulting collision may pose a danger to the crowd, although that hasn't stopped Albin Berber, leader of the petite bourgeoisie, from declaring that he will have a front row seat at the event. Alright, so we can say everyone enjoy the spectacle, and he'll gain popularity. There's a 90% chance that Kansas gets the thing smashed up well. 25% loyalists from standing of living increases. Or 10% chance this is not going to go well. Or you can forbid him instead. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, we'll just do this one. There's a good chance that it'll be successful. Well, also, because we just got that research, we should go ahead and start researching something else. I'm probably not going to get one done before the end of the war, but we'll go ahead and do something in the military branch anyways. And I'm thinking the one that's going to be the most beneficial to us would probably be the telegraph. Negative 25% war exhaustion from casualties. Yeah, I think that's the best option for us. Okay, so now we're just waiting for our general here to raise up all his troops so that we can do that invasion. Where's he at? He's Peter. Alright, so we're just waiting for him to get some more of these troops. It would help if I tick these up to the top, wouldn't it? So yeah, we don't need to finish those before we do this. I think this is probably more important. So we'll work on those barracks. Those can be done pretty quick, but again, mobilization is an issue here. Look at the costs, man. Yeah, just absolutely ridiculous how expensive this is. And so we've gone through our gold reserves very quickly, and that's the reason why I don't like going to debt. Is mainly for war, guys. Because when you go to war, it's so expensive. You spend like sometimes 10 million pounds or more. Obviously, you can go pretty deep in debt and not have any issues, but yeah, you don't want to go too far in. Not only are you paying interest, but how long is it going to take for you to climb out of that hole? So that's why I prefer to have like a nice little cushion, mainly for the conflicts, for the wars, just because of how expensive they are. Now, if you're not going to do any wars, then I suppose there's not really a reason to keep a lot in the gold reserve, because eventually you're going to get it all stacked up, and I think I mentioned this before. It's mainly a negative to let your money stack up too high. All right, so let me see if this guy's ready. See how many units he has. So he currently has 17 and 19. So it looks like that's probably all he's going to get out of those units that we built there. And I suppose that's enough. So once he gets the 19 units, we'll send him on the invasion. Frankly, I almost want to send him with the 17 because you can see that the war's going all right. Our war support's at 60. There's that 64. This could be worse. As far as the number of dead, they have taken far more casualties than we have. Yeah, both dead, wounded, much higher. Cost of war also higher for their side. So in every way that matters, in my opinion, we are kind of winning this. But just barely. It's still pretty close. We need to do the invasion of Cuba, guys. That's key. We're pushing forward here, so that's good. I'd like to see some success there. And also Spain continues to lose here. So that's also really good. And we're getting more people going to Nebraska. So let's see. Is this guy ready? He's not. He's taking forever to get all his troops mobilized. I mean, given we did this after the war already started, so, that's 18. So we're just waiting for that last unit to get there, and that's what we're going to send over there to Cuba, and I'm just hoping that's enough. I feel like it won't be, but we'll try. We'll see, guys. The worst that happens is that we fail. We got to try again. We're pushing forward here to the point where we're just about done. Maybe a couple more battles here. And then we'll be able to push forward. And take the, or excuse me, we'll be able to move this army somewhere else. Because I don't think there's anything else left here. Yep. Alright, so we're done. Alright, so with that done, he'll start heading back home. And you see, that's going to take him 2 months to get there. Now, we could send him somewhere else. I almost want to send him over here to kind of help the French. Like, I don't know if they're at all trying to advance. Let me just take a look here. Because if they're only attacking, or excuse me, only defending, yeah, they are advancing. So what we could do is just put our guys on the defense. Like, we won't actually attempt to push forward because we just won't have the numbers, but we can help defend the front for many of these advances. And I think that'd be better than just sending them back home and waiting for the invasion. And you know, if we need them for the invasion and we're successful in that, then we'll send them. But yeah, I think it's best to go ahead and have him come over here and help out. And the majority of our units are sitting here ready to defend our territory, but we might not ever get invaded. So we just got those guys sitting around for nothing. What we could do is split the Midwest army up into 2 and then send one over here as well. That'd be an option. For right now, we're going to send William Sherbrooke again over here to just defend this front. And it looks like that's going to take him just as long. That's interesting. You would think it'd be quicker to get from here to here. I guess if he's got to go into that port. Yeah, I suppose so. But yeah, it seems like it should be quicker to me. They're no longer sailing based on the winds here. So yeah, or maybe we are actually. If you look at our technology, maybe we are still using mostly sail ships. Because that would affect it as well. Because you got the winds. So are we ready to do this invasion? We are. Alright, so let's go ahead and attempt this, guys. We'll see if it's successful or not. So Matthew Perry is the one who's going to be doing the invasion. And we're going to be invading Cuba with our only option. Alright, so he'll do that invasion with his 19 troops. As far as our other fleet, we'll probably want to move him back over to the Dixie HQ, I think. So have him patrol over here now. Because that's, again, the place that's most likely to see an invasion, if we were to even see one. You know, there's so many other locations that everybody's fighting on. Oh, we aren't building anything. My bad, guys. I mean, I guess we're saving money by not building anything, but yeah, we should have been doing construction here. So let's see what we need to get. So ammunition. We're giving that ammunition to France. I could cut that trade off, but I don't think that's the best way to go. We should just produce more ammunition. Artillery, though, we can cut that trade off because that's going to Russia. So let's go and do that. We'll cut off the artillery trade route to the Russians. That'll save us a little bit, but it's not gonna fix the high cost here, I don't think. Maybe it was enough. Yeah, not too bad. Man of wars are also kind of expensive. So might need to fix that. Yeah, artillery's still a little over, so might want to reduce the price. But the real problem, of course, is ammunition. We absolutely need to get that solved. So let's go ahead and build up. Well, let me take a look here and see if there's anything we can do in regards to the production methods. Now, we know munition plants don't have anything, but do the arms industries. So with the artillery, we could actually improve that situation, but then we make the small arms more expensive. But I don't think either of those are a serious problem right now. Yeah. So yeah, it's really just ammunition and perhaps the man of wars. All right, so that's what we'll do then. Let's go ahead and get the munition plants built up here. Do we want to do it in the same location in New York? I kind of feel like we should do it somewhere else. Yeah, let's start this up somewhere else, somewhere that it'll be nice and profitable, that has the peasants as well. So we could do it in Virginia. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They got high peasant population. I don't think we really built much there. So we're going to build 2 levels in Virginia. And then the other thing we wanted to do was to get the shipyards so we can get more man of wars. And we might just do one that we already have going here. We can also change those up too. You know, because those production methods, I think we haven't changed all those just yet for the shipyard. So there's a few that could be changed over. Well, looks like we changed most of them. And it's not bad to have one on civilian. So yeah, we just need to make sure if we're going to build in those states that we don't build in Maine, since that wouldn't help us, obviously. That we built in either Massachusetts or New York, and it could be profitable. And remember, New York has those state bonuses, so probably a better place to build. So let's go and do that. We'll build it up in New York 1 level, and we still need more government administration buildings. So let's go ahead and take care of that. And the reason why I'm basing this off of population is because, of course, the tax problems that you can have with your taxation capacity. Now, I could go through them all the states and kind of see which states are having taxation capacity issues, but it's mainly based off population. So, you know, if you build the government administration in locations that have higher population, then you're less likely to have the issues. And right now, we're just building 1 in each. And that should, for the smaller states, the less populous states, that should be plenty, honestly. So yeah, we'll do Maine and West Virginia here, and just kind of slowly move down. Now, one thing to consider, of course, is that the number of peasants does not reflect the total population. But that's the way I'm doing it for now. Since there's no way really to sort that, I wish there's more options for sorting, but unfortunately there's just not. And let's go ahead and build one more university in Massachusetts, because remember, we have not gotten our innovation all the way up just yet. We could definitely get it a bit higher. So yeah, we'll try and get that increased. And then as far as other things that we need here, it looks like glass is still really expensive. Yeah, steel needs to be built as well, so it's all stuff we can go and work on. So let's go for the glass works first. And it's so expensive that anywhere, yeah, pretty much anywhere would be profitable. Doesn't really matter where we build this, but we could build it in the best places, which would be 2.35 thousand. They don't really have the peasants there. Not too many, so we'll do Pennsylvania here then. Yeah, maybe Maryland as well. So glassworks was necessary, and steel. We can go ahead and do the steel as well. And paper. Yeah, so we'll do steel and then paper. Just try and build this out so we don't have to mess with it too much while we're involved in this conflict here. We already know that's going to Pennsylvania. And then paper mills. And again, it's going to be profitable pretty much anywhere. So we'll go with, supposed to do New Jersey. All right, excellent. So that'll keep them building for a little while. That's right, we're not over here anymore. Our guy's coming over this way. It's going to take some time to get there. And then we're also waiting for that naval invasion. We can take a look, see exactly how long that's going to take. 40 days. And that's if he's able to successfully land. Because their fleets can engage us. And a hostile admiral has sunk 20 of our convoys. So we now have seen that there has been some convoy raiding going on, guys. Which it looks like we're actually being invaded right now. Yep. So we are being invaded. We have the Battle of New York. So we left plenty of troops here to defend it. And they were able to break through here without any sea battle because we were not protecting this coastline at all. And I think we're going to go ahead and send the ships to go protect the convoys for now. So you see that the one that was raided was this one here. That's where those 20 convoys were sunk. And if we look at the routes that are going through, and that does leave our entire coastline open, but hopefully we can defend successfully as we've done in this battle. So yeah, he has been successful. This is actually Peter, who's supposed to be doing the naval invasion, but it's because it's in the New England HQ that he's defending there. Yeah. Now, once a front is created, then we'll be able to put our Midwest HQ general over there. So more convoys have been sunk. Looks like it's in the same location there. So hopefully we'll get them engaged and kind of stop some of that. But yeah, it looks like we've won this first defensive battle here. And we're doing pretty good now in the conflict, despite not actually doing the important invasion here. And I believe our troops here should be here soon. Let's just take a look if they're not already there. Yeah, they're already there. Okay. Wasn't sure because I saw the 10 units traveling there. Yeah, it says they're still traveling. Oh, okay, it just doesn't have the days. Interesting. Oh, there he is. And it's because he was just about there. Alright, so now he's defending, and so we'll be helping out there. And it looks like Britain's going to have to deal with a revolution, so that's good. And also we've got a naval battle, the battle in the Caribbean Sea. So they were protecting their coastline and they engaged us when we attempted to do the naval invasion. So this is between Matthew Perry and their admiral, Estrella. And he did the ramming maneuver. That's going to result in higher casualties, but also a higher kill rate. And they unfortunately got the poor visibility, so they're going to have lower offense and defense. And that was probably just enough to ensure that we can win this quickly, because not only do we have the numbers, but we've also now have the higher offense as well, which we might not have if he hadn't got the poor visibility. So yeah, we should do good here. But again, you can just kind of watch it as the same as land battles. There's really not that much of a difference, honestly. They're kind of the same. And so yeah, we'll win this battle here. And hopefully that'll enable us to do the invasion, though I'm not sure how this will work with our invasion general currently over here defending, and you see a much larger army now, and this should allow them to create a frontier. Yeah, I think they'll get a frontier, but that'll allow us to put our other general over here, so not exactly a negative thing. We'll be able to send some more troops, a lot more troops. So I don't think that front has been created just yet. I think they're still doing naval invasions, so Robert E. Lee is going to have to stay where he's at for now. Alright, so that naval battle has finished up, and now we can see that we are also doing an invasion with no chance of success here, probably because our units were already really weak due to defending over here. So that went pretty poorly. It was very bad planning, unfortunately. So yeah, we're going to lose this battle. Yeah, this is horrible. But we could have won. We could have won if it wasn't for this happening at the same time. So yeah, unfortunate development there, but you can see that they now have taken over a big chunk of Jersey here. Also have taken over a little bit of New York, and now they vastly outnumber us. So let's go ahead and send our Midwest units over there. And I kind of feel like we might not have raised up enough troops, because yeah, that's what it looks like. So let's go and defend our frontier. And unfortunately, we won't be able to do an invasion. Although, do we want to defend or do we want to attack? We'll defend for now. I want to say he's already got the most troops he's able to control here as far as the conscripts go. We can also bring up some additional regular battalions. It does take time, but I could give him some additional troops too. I don't know if it's going to be necessary here with the where we're at in the current conflict. But yeah, we could raise up, like 10 more. What we could do is also raise up the conscripts and then wait to actually get another general until we have some more of those raised. But for now, let's just go ahead and build 10 more units, regular units. I know that takes a long time, but yeah, it'll be helpful in the future, I suppose. We'll have a bigger army. Maybe slightly more comparable to what the Europeans have. And are we still fighting over here? Yeah, this battle still hasn't ended. Yeah, there's just no chance of success because of the situation here. It's just a real bummer because all this was caused by the bug. We would have been able to do the naval invasion before this invasion had happened and been able to attack with our full army, and we could have won that. As you guys can see, we outnumbered them, and we could have won if it wasn't for this issue, and we would have Cuba conquered at this point, I think. So yeah, it's just such a shame, man. Really got screwed over by it. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's get this started. So we need 10 more units here in the Midwest area. So we'll do, let's see. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then just do a 10th one right here. Alright, so we'll get those built. We'll actually take them up to maybe not quite the top because those munition plants will be helpful. What we could do is just build one of those. Yeah, we'll do it that way, guys. So yeah, we'll just build one of those and get the barracks prioritized. And then just get this one munition plant sent up to the top there. Since this area has been invaded, so he could stay here. Yeah, that would actually work out. Okay, so we're going to change this up a little bit here, guys, after this invasion's done. But let's go ahead and take him and have him do the standby so that he'll go back home. Yeah, let's have him go back home. The French don't need us. They're doing fine. They're pushing forward against Spain while we're over here losing key territory. And then, yeah, we'll change this up. Just change the direction, guys, rather than raising up those conscripts and trying to send an army that's currently defending and therefore not really able to do anything. So what we'll want to go ahead and do is take him and set him up to do that as soon as the naval invasion's done. It failed once it's completely failed. All right, so we got defeated, 26 dead, 272 wounded. But look at this. For their successful defense, they lost a lot more people. All right, so we know the invasion failed. Not surprising. Given how weak those troops were when they went, I'm surprised they did as well as they did. So let's go and defend this front. So they can't push any further forward. A lot of these are traveling, so you know what? We could probably push the front forward. Yeah, you know what? I don't know why I didn't do that. There's no troops here. So let's go and advance the front with both of these units here. Yeah, we should have been pushing forward while they were traveling. We got all this time before they get here. So yeah, we can push them back into the sea there. Yeah, I should have already done that, guys. That was my bad. Alright, well, we've pushed them back into the sea. That's what's important here. Alright, so that unfortunately did result in some devastation. So yeah, we could attempt the invasion again with the New England HQ or with the Dixie HQ. Either one will work. We could even have them both invade just to try and get it done, because as of right now we have not, obviously we have not achieved the objective yet. We can try and make peace here, asking for the things that we wanted. Obviously they're not going to accept this right now. Do we want to give them anything? Yeah, we don't want to give them anything. Now remember, we can do both sides, so you can give up stuff while also taking stuff. Yeah, we're gonna try and get all these and see if we can't get them to agree. Obviously right now they're not willing to, but that's really not that far from disagreeing. Britain really wants to get out of the war. Yeah, I think we might be able to get this victory, guys, maybe even without invading Cuba. It's a real possibility there. France is also dealing with a diplomatic play, a colonial one. Alright, so we'll let our troops rest up a little bit. They did some hard fighting there. And what we'll do, I don't know if we're ever going to get engaged here. But let's just go and protect the coastlines, both coastlines. We already have them doing that. Until we're ready to do the invasion. In fact, it's going to take like 40 days, 40-something days or whatever to do the invasions. That's probably going to be enough time for them to rest. So you know what? Let's go ahead and get it planning now. And we're going to do both of them. I'm just going to send them both, guys. We won't even protect our coastline at all. If the invasion happens, again, it happens. Hopefully it doesn't, though. So we're going to set up an invasion with both of these. And then hopefully one of them will succeed. There we go. So 19 and 10 units. As far as how long that's going to take, 47 days for those to get done. Maybe it's 50 days total. I'm not entirely sure what it's taken us exactly, but France continues winning here despite having to attack through the mountains, which has got to be a more difficult fight. And this war has broken out. It's not much of a problem here. Though it does, distract Spain, I suppose. Or excuse me, distracts France. Get up close, you guys can see they have built the Eiffel Tower here. We've got that. Looking nice, and we continue losing convoys there. But yeah, even when we had them protecting, they weren't engaging. They're not sinking a ton of convoys, though. It's not a serious issue. And our fleet is doing something productive. They're over here getting ready to do this invasion. So we'll have that conducting in less than a week now, guys. Both of these invasions, and we'll see if they're successful. If at least one of them are. So we did have to have another naval battle here. Nice, easy naval battle. Yeah, nice victory there. And these are the two current invasions here. So we're invading two different locations. And now you can see they have a lot more troops. But we're still going to win both of these. Yeah, both of these are going to be successful. So it seems we'll be ending this episode with finally, well into the war, landing on Cuba. Took us a long time. And you can see that also our enemies are getting more and more likely to agree to our peace deal and give us everything we want. So once we successfully invade Cuba, I think that should put the nail in the coffin, guys. They should know that this is the end for them. Though, are we going to win these? Yeah, we're still going to win this one. And still going to win this one as well. Alright. The following war goals were enforced on Austria. Okay, I guess I forgot that they were in the war, and they weren't even popping up over here either, nor have I seen their units anywhere, so I'm not entirely sure what was going on with the Austrians. Yeah, I can't recall seeing them anywhere. But yeah, I remember them swaying them in. But yeah, they've already left, so I mean they were obviously not playing much of a role anyways, so. But we're achieving our victories, guys. This is just a matter of time, and we'll get our victory here in the Spanish-American War. So you can see our troops are advancing here. As far as like which area they're in, it's kind of confusing, but they should be moving to these fronts, but maybe not. Might have to micro this a little bit. Let's just take a look and see where these guys are going. So yeah, they're currently escorting convoys. They automatically go to that to escort convoys down to the new area. So we need to protect those convoys going to Liberia. You see those are continue to have issues with that, but we've been busy doing other things. So let's go and again protect those convoys and see if they can't stop them from being sunk. O City of Plenty. So we've seen this event already before. Yeah, we'll go with this one. Why not? Yes, and that's right. I was looking at the troops, and I got distracted here, trying to figure out what these guys are doing here. They're going back home. Nice. So I'm going to send them back, and this is how these things do require. They require some micromanagement, guys. That's just the way it is. And so yeah, this is going to take them time now to get back over here, because they just took off. They said, "Up, we're done here." We got the control of this part, and we're just going to leave. Now, we're lucky that they don't have any generals in either one of these, because it looks like they got messed up too. Their generals also got moved, and who knows where they got moved to, but clearly they also had that issue. And so we weren't the only ones that had to deal with it. Yeah, I'm just wondering why. There we go. There's a battle going. Maybe I'm just missing the battles. I think that's what's going on here. We're just missing them. I'm sending them over here, and they're just not conducting the battles. So yeah, there we go. He's currently defending our stuff over here now. All right, excellent. He only had a few ships too. So yeah, maybe we'll get a little victory there. Just want to take a look and see how close they are towards capitulating towards us. They're getting closer, guys. And you see both France and Denmark very happy with this peace acceptance. Obviously they're getting, we're getting everything here that we want and not giving them anything, so they would be happy with that. And look at the war support. Our war support is significantly higher. I mean, they're all in the negative, but yeah, our war support across the board is higher than theirs. So we're winning the war, guys. That's what's important to be noted here. All right, so we have the advantage in both these areas, so easily able to advance. And it looks like both of our generals are now over here advancing this front. Excellent. So we're going to push forward quite quickly and get the Cubans completely conquered. Yeah, we got some battles over here where we just are overwhelming them, doing our aggressive maneuvers, and pushing the front forward very rapidly. Make sure we're not facing any further invasions here. Nope, good to go. So it's just a matter of time before this war is done. Yeah, and this is just really confusing because it's like, these aren't even our generals, but we're being notified about it. And so it's just, they made it so useless, the way they did that. Yeah, this is, again, it took a little bit longer for us to get it done because of that bug, where clearly one of our generals is just not usable. But we're getting it done, guys. Getting the win here. And after we've conquered all Cuba, and Great Britain just capitulated. Okay. So, yeah, they've been willing to give in to all these, because none of them had to do with Britain or Austria. This is all against Spain and Cuba, so they just abandoned their ally. Now, I want to say if you abandon your ally, you get like a opinion penalty. But yeah, now it's just a matter of time until they give in. They have no friends. And we don't need to worry about raiding over here anymore either. I don't think the Spanish were raiding there. I think it was just the British. And just like that, Cuba has been conquered. And I suppose if we wanted, we could move our troops over here. Put the pressure on Spain to get them to capitulate a little bit quicker. So I think that's what we're going to do. Let's send maybe somebody who hasn't done any fighting. Maybe the Midwest HQ with Robert Lee. Now, he is a defensive guy. We could send one of our pillagers over there to cause further devastation to him. Maybe send Peter over there with his 19 units. Suppose that would make sense to send him. He's also a defensive guy, though. But I almost feel like sending him just because he hasn't done anything. So I think that makes sense. So let's send Robert E. Lee over here to push the front forward rather than just defend. And that's going to take him 2 months to get over there. War might be over by then. We'll have to see if they're willing to give in. But they'll certainly be willing once we send all these troops over here. And France has all their troops over here too, because there's not very many fronts left at this point. I suppose we could also invade their territory here, but yeah, it's really not necessary, guys. This war is already pretty expensive. If you look at the total cost here, because we haven't looked at that yet. And unfortunately, we won't get to look at it. I guess you can pause and look at that. I wanted to see what that cost was. Yeah, that's a shame. I wanted to see what the total cost of the war was. But you guys can pause. I got to the screen right beforehand, so you can go back and pause it. I'm going to do so, because I'd be interested to see, like, how much did it cost us? What was our casualties? All that kind of good stuff. What did the enemy face overall? But yeah, we were able to get everything we wanted here, guys. We were able to humiliate Spain, conquer Cuba, and get the Spanish War reparations. So that'll be helpful for improving our economy. But as you can see, we didn't go that far in debt. We did have to go a little bit in debt. So we started this with like 3 million, and you know that's 2.12 million in credit. So that's 5 million right there. But that's not counting all the money that we were earning as well. So yeah, it was a very expensive war, guys. I can't say how much until I look at the video. In fact, if I can remember to, I'm going to try and write it down. So in the beginning of the next episode, I can mention it, what the total cost was in money and lives. So yeah, now we have Cuba in our hands. We'll have to take a look at that next episode, because this one is unfortunately over. I didn't expect to get it done in one video, but we got a little bit over, and yeah, we got it done. But yeah, that means we got all this good stuff here. Again, we'll take a look at this next episode, but here's our population here. So very insignificant number of peasants, but they do have 22,000 that are currently unemployed. The total population in Cuba is 1.11 million. As far as state modifiers, it's just the natural harbors. You can see there was 9.5% devastation, which is having those effects, reducing migration attraction, infrastructure, and increasing mortality. We probably have a bit of devastation in our territory as well. Maybe not. Yeah, they just took it over. They didn't have their army stomping around over here, so yeah, no devastation over here. All right, excellent. So yeah, if we did, we already burned it off, but I don't think we did because they didn't really have the armies fighting. We were able to just push them back into the sea because, yeah, surprisingly, they didn't have any units there that landed with the invasion. That was weird. I'm not sure what happened there. I just assumed there was units there, and I didn't pay attention. And yeah, they were still all traveling. So I'm not sure what happened there. We could have pushed them back into the sea much quicker, though. And that would have changed up our strategy a bit. But yeah, I didn't notice that. Yeah, we have Cuba, guys. So we had our first successful large-scale war. We defeated the British, the Spanish, and apparently the Austrians as well. I don't recall them being in that war at all. I didn't see them anywhere. I know they didn't raise very many troops up, so yeah, they probably didn't. They didn't really want to get involved in that. Maybe they're just trying to get us to back down. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy today's episode. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. Do hope to see you guys on the next one, and thanks for watching.